Let's clear something up right away. Removing dairy doesn't mean sacrificing your child's bone health. In fact, calcium without dairy is totally doable. And in some cases, it's even better absorbed. Now, if you missed my live training last month where I broke down why dairy can be so inflammatory for kids with ADHD, go back and watch it. It's still on my feed. I covered why dairy triggers exacerbate ADHD symptoms. I talked about why even raw or organic milk can still sometimes cause issues for some kids, and the surprising reason dairy affects kids with ADHD more than others. Now, guys, I want you to drop a comment if you caught that live. Let me know in the chat if you actually saw it or if dairy has been a really hard one for you to navigate at home. So today we're following up on that common question we get asked. If we remove dairy, how do we get enough calcium? It's such a good question, and I'm so glad that it gets asked so often. Now, quick intro for anyone new here. I'm Dana Kay, board certified health and nutrition practitioner. I'm the founder of ADHD Thrive Institute. I've helped over 1,500 families reduce ADHD symptoms naturally, and I specialize in getting to the underlying biological issues, the root cause solutions, no band-aids, no guesswork. So let's talk calcium. Now, calcium, yes, super critical for bone health. And yes, you can meet your child's calcium needs without a single drop of cow's milk. So first, skip the supplements. Go to food first. Many over-the-counter calcium supplements, they're poorly absorbed and they're hard on digestion, especially for kids with gut issues. And we know that a lot of our kids with ADHD are suffering from gut issues. So instead, I like to focus on food sources. Now, some of these you're probably going to go, well, I've got a picky eater, but stay tuned because I'm going to cover that in a second. Sources like broccoli, leafy greens like kale or collard greens, sardines. Okay, I know your kids most of them are not going to eat sardines. Canned salmon with the bones are really good as well. One of my favorite though is super easy. Every kid's going to eat it. And it's my favorite DIY calcium booster. It's actually eggshell powder. Okay, you heard me right, eggshells. Now, I want you guys to drop egg in the comments if you've ever heard of this before. A lot of my families in my program tell me they've never heard of this and they find it so helpful to increase calcium intake in their child's diet. Now, eggshells are actually made from calcium carbonate, and it's the same mineral that makes up our bones and our teeth. And because it comes from real food, it's easier for the body to recognize and absorb, and can actually, you can make your own homemade eggshell powder, eggshell calcium powder. Super easy. Obviously, a lot of families eat eggs. So all you need to do is get the eggshells, you rinse them out after cracking them, and you store them in the fridge or the freezer if it's longer than 5 days, until you have about 10 to 12 shells, okay? Once you've got 10 to 12 shells, you just boil them for 15 minutes to sanitize them, bake them in the oven for 225 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes to dry them out, and then you just use a spice grinder or blender to grind into a fine powder. Easy. That's it. Super easy. You can add half a teaspoon to smoothies. Wouldn't even know that it's there, or even sauces when you're cooking. And that gives you around 400 to 500 milligrams of calcium. You can store it in an airtight container for up to a month. It is so simple. It is so much cheaper than buying supplements, and even so much cheaper than buying dairy. It's so effective and so affordable. And if you're thinking my child would never go for that, remember, you're not serving them a spoonful of eggshells. The powder is so fine when you blend it up properly. It can blend into smoothies, it can blend into soups, it can blend into sauces. And just like you'd use protein powder or collagen powder or bone broth powder, and it's absolutely has no taste, so they won't even know that it's added. And I think it's super doable. It's super easy, but I want to know if you guys have ever tried it, or if you're going to give it a try. Just give me a yes or a thumbs up in the comments to let me know if you're going to give you a try. I also want to give you a little bit of a bonus calcium tip that I know a lot of families don't know. For best calcium absorption, don't forget vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin K2. These nutrients work together to get calcium into the bones and not into the bloodstream. So, if you've ever been worried about calcium, after going dairy free, I hope this gives you some clarity and some confidence. And so let me know if you guys are dairy free, if you've tried dairy free calcium sources, and if you're going to try those eggshell powders. And if you're just getting started on the dairy free path, head to my website, ADHDthriveinstitute.com. I've got lots of great free recipes and resources to help you make the transition without the overwhelm. And I know that you can do it. And I've helped over 1,500 other families reduce ADHD symptoms naturally by going gluten and dairy free, but also getting to the root cause of what is going on in their child's body with lab testing. I'm Dana Kay, your ADHD health practitioner. I go live each week with practical, real life tools to help your family thrive. So make sure to follow if you're not already doing so. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next week. As I mentioned, I go live each and every Tuesday. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye for now.